Welcome back to the Love to Live Healthy Show. I'm your co-host, Josephine Fitzpatrick, author of Cheat Day Rules and Shed the Pounds, both available on Amazon. I'm a nutrition, wellness, and transformation expert and co-owner of Innovation Healthy Market in Woodbury, New York, alongside my son and co-host, Jake Fitzpatrick. At Innovation Healthy Market, we've been helping thousands of clients all over the world live healthier, happier lives. For the past 14 years, our store at 8025 Jericho Turnpike in Woodbury has been open 7 days a week, offering hundreds of freshly prepared healthy meals and snacks. And the best part is you do not have to be a client to shop with us. We welcome everyone. We have customers from all over Long Island who visit daily, and we also ship tri-state, offer free Long Island delivery every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and even hand delivered in New York City every Tuesday. Plus, we're on Uber Eats 7 days a week. If you're looking to lose weight or simply eat healthier, come visit us. Everything is made fresh daily, from high protein, low carb, gluten-free, sugar-free options, plus plant-based vegan, keto meals, and of course our famous detox program. Our team is always available to help you one-on-one when you walk in. We'll guide you, answer your questions, and help you get exactly what you need. For more information on our meals, deliveries, and weight loss programs, visit us at innovationhealthymarket.com or visit us on our Instagram, Innovation Weight Loss. And now I'm here with my amazing co-host and son, Jake Fitzpatrick. Good morning, Jake.
Good morning.
Today's show is all about October, the make or break month, right? Well,
Yeah.
you know, I tell everyone that listens at this point, like from now until Thanksgiving, you have like 7 weeks of uninterrupted time to put to yourself to feel good before all the temptations of Thanksgiving come.
Yeah, because there's no holidays, right?
There's no holidays,
yeah,
right?
just Halloween, but that's like all about cheating. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
yeah.
At least the best part about Halloween for you is like you get to walk everywhere with Cooper, right?
I know, I love it.
So,
it's great.
Yeah, I love it too, though.
It's really, Halloween's not terrible. It's for some reason people decide to buy the treats weeks before.
Yeah, and then
because
you have
they
it
think
around
they're
the
going to
house
hold
and
them, and they're
too.
not. They're going to eat them.
But also, side note, how the price of the candy now
I know. Well, you got an eyeful to that.
I was buying it for Cooper, and it was like for one of the big fun bags with all the different brands, it was like $80.
I know, it's crazy.
Are you kidding? Oh my God, I better lose weight if I eat that. So yeah, but no, it's funny though because we always talk about like how there's always something like in the summertime it's all the barbecues, graduations, and everything, and then in the fall, it's really we've passed it though, like the holidays and everything, but now it's kind of weird because you really don't. I don't want to say it that way, but you really don't have any excuse now,
right?
Other than to stay on
There's
track.
nothing going to throw you off track except for yourself.
Except for yourself, yeah. Which is always the number one thing.
Which is usually the self-sabotaging is definitely the number one thing.
Yep.
But, that's why it's important. You really have to look at this and say, like, okay, I have these weeks ahead. What can I do to make myself feel great? And whether you're trying to lose weight, whether you're just trying to exercise more, eat healthier, whatever it is, from now until Thanksgiving, you have the time to really, no excuses put into yourself.
Is it really from this point until
Yes, it's 7 weeks.
Wow.
So just think about that. Even if you lost a pound a week, it would be 7 pounds.
And then think of how good it would taste on Thanksgiving.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Wow. That's actually good to know.
Yeah, it's a good mindset, like, to think to yourself, like, okay, if I put it out there like that and I look at my weeks, 7 weeks goes so fast.
It goes so quick.
But you can do so much in it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's where you have to say, like, you can't, listen, you're always going to have things. You're always going to have dinners out. You're always going to have, birthdays and this, but you have to kind of stick to that 6 days on, 1 day off. And if you do that, you will see the results every week.
And also, too, I feel like a lot of people don't realize, too, is, your week doesn't have to be the same as someone else's week.
Right.
Meaning, what days you're cheating. Not everybody's cheat day has to be Saturday.
No, of course not.
If you have a birthday party on Sunday, but you're used to cheating on Saturday, you can maneuver, for that 1 week. Don't let that be the excuse of like, well, I usually cheat on Saturday, so I guess I'll just cheat on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, and then you go to the party and end up cheating anyway. Yeah,
exactly.
That happens a lot.
Always remember that too. Like, you don't have to have the exact same setup as everybody else. if you want, if your week is coming up and it's like, oh, hey guys, like, we're going out for a spur of the moment dinner tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, all right, I guess my cheat day is Wednesday this week,
Right.
or Thursday. And
But then you got to skip
stay
it the
on
weekend.
Saturday, But again, everybody being off from work and Saturday is usually a day where you just feel like eating.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
yeah. Or
but,
Sunday. Sunday's a lot of family days, like, you know.
No, it's very true. Yeah. But
so it's you got to do what works for you, but you got to kind of commit and say, like, no matter what. I was just talking to a client this morning and who struggles all the time, and it's only because she gets in her own way all the time. She loves to walk. She loves to walk, but then she won't do it because work gets in the way, And then when she does walk, she's so happy. She'll text me. She'll be like, I wish I'm going to go twice today.
Yep.
Because she loves it so much, but it's just putting herself first,
Yep.
And it's not always easy to do, but when you do it, a lot of times everything else follows in such a better order,
Absolutely.
So it's really, I think what's important right now is to just think to yourself, like, I'm going to commit to the next 7 weeks. From now until Thanksgiving, I'm going to use October and the first couple of weeks of November as my make it or break it month. I'm going to do this,
Absolutely. Yeah. Because think about it too. I mean, like, let's be real. As soon as Thanksgiving hits, everybody's thinking about the holidays.
Yeah.
And
it's hard.
Everybody knows, especially you being a parent. Like, I don't have that, stress yet. But, like, once that holiday starts, like, once Thanksgiving's over and you actually have the thought, like, wow, this is all going to come like a freight train now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have the holidays,
4 weeks until Christmas.
Everything in between. Once you, not even the holiday, like, the weeks coming, the 7 weeks before that, you're stressed about, your kids' wish lists for what they want for the holidays. The party's coming up, you gotta, order everything. That's a ton of pressure. And, you know better than anybody, once that pressure comes, what happens? Stress eat.
Of course.
You start stress eating because it's like, oh, I'll push it back 1 week. I'll push it back 1 week. So it's really, like, think about it that way when we talk about the importance of having this next 7 weeks to really dial in. Because like you always say, like, it's better always to just, like when you lose and then you kind of mess up a little bit, at least you're back at zero.
Exactly. Maintain. Right.
Think about how much progress you can make in this next 7 weeks. And then if you slip up a little bit during the holidays, you'll at least be almost back at
Try
zero.
to maintain that,
Exactly, yeah.
Because it is, especially like when you were just talking about the holidays, you have the comfort eating, you have all the holiday music on.
Yep.
Everyone's offering some type of sweet treat somewhere.
Yep. Even if you're making gingerbread houses
exactly.
or something,
Yep.
it's in front of you.
It's everywhere.
And it's like
cookies, the smell, everything, and everything just tastes better in the winter because it's just cold
I
know.
I know.
So there's a lot going on that you have to battle, but not from now until then. And listen, this is like, everyone that knows me will know this. It's my favorite time of year. I absolutely love from now until Christmas, really.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. I love the pumpkin picking.
Honestly, we're the same. As soon as like October 1st to January, it's
the best.
Favorite time of the year.
It's the best. And I mean, I love the pumpkin picking. I have all 3 of your guys' birthdays.
Yep.
I love Thanksgiving. It's such a great time because there's like no gifts involved. It's really just about being grateful.
It's a terrible time for us, actually, because we have cake 3 times in a month.
Trust me when I tell you. Yeah. Dinners, everything.
Well, actually, no, that's not true because smartly enough, we
last couple of years.
Birthdays.
Yeah.
Well, we combined the birthdays, though, so we celebrate all on one day. Right?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. The last couple of years, we switched it to the day after Thanksgiving. So that really works for me, actually.
Yeah. That's a smart hack, though. It's like
it's great for us. But most people don't have 3 birthdays in a week. In like a week and a half, right?
Yep.
But it works good. So, and I purposely put it. Thankfully, yours is the latest. You always fall around Thanksgiving.
I know. Always,
so it's great because I give myself those weeks too. Like, hey, I know from now till then I am like 100%. Yeah. Because I know from Thanksgiving to Christmas, I'm going to want to enjoy things too.
Yeah. And it's also just
my favorite time.
Yeah.
So really important. I think the first thing you have to do though, is you have to take the time right now to say, what do you want what do you want in the next 7 weeks? Do you want to lose weight? Do you want to just eat healthier? Do you want to eat less? Do you want to exercise more? Do you want to do all of the above? But you have to know what you want before you're going to get it, you know?
Absolutely.
You can't just wing it and be like, okay, I'm just going to be, you know.
Yep. Absolutely. Because then the common thing that we always talk about is like, if you even start to, you know, notice like the most minimal thing that you're doing that's like going to make you feel like you messed up, the classic thing you're going to do is just push it to January.
Yeah, of
and then
course.
Once you do that,
you
know,
gained another
you're
10
past,
pounds
you're
from now
past
till
knee deep
January.
at that
Yeah,
point.
exactly.
You know, think about it like, you know, even if you're not like a sports person, think about it like, you know, like a training camp. You know, like, you know, January, start of the season, you know, you really want to be dialed in by that point. So right now is almost like training camp in the summertime. You know, you're at training camp, you know, you staying in, you know, nobody skips training camp and goes into the season and is amazing.
Exactly.
So you always want to think like, I'm in training camp right now. Even if you're doing the littlest things possible, you're still in training camp. So give yourself a little bit of leeway like that way, but say, I don't want to show up late to January.
Right.
Because think about everybody else. Everybody else at that point is probably going to be already off to the races. So you don't want to be the one person that's not.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Almost kind of put yourself under like fake pressure.
Right.
That's what I like
right.
to do.
It's true though. Yeah, that makes so much sense. And you know what? It is real pressure and it's good pressure because you have to have that motivation to succeed.
Yep.
And you also, you know how miserable you're going to be if you are not in a good place when the holidays come.
Yep.
You're trying to put on that holiday outfit or you're going on vacation. You know when people go on vacation during the December to January? So there's so many things that you really want to feel good about and feel good at that time, but you have to start now. It's always, you have to do it before. You can't get to the time and be like, why didn't I do it? You know, you can do that, but it's not going to help you.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? Let me ask you a question though. Is you know, obviously a lot of the clients and a lot of customers and everybody, you know, like a lot of kids are in school and college. So how do you cope with that? Because if this is your 7 weeks to kind of dial in, I guess it can be kind of an interruption if your kid comes home from school.
Yes, which we have a lot right now. Or they're at school,
because
parents,
if they come
weekends,
home from school, you know, they're obviously looking for something special when they come home. Like they're not looking for, you know, oh, mom's got her meal prep in the fridge. They want home cooked meals.
Right,
you know,
exactly. And that's fine because you can do that. I mean, I don't know if a lot of our clients want home cooked meals, but I think that they definitely want to go out and have like sushi and stuff.
Yeah. It's like,
You know?
oh, mom and dad, I really want to go to that restaurant.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You're going.
And that's fine. But you can, listen, to me, you can go to any restaurant. You're actually better going to a restaurant. You can order anything on program.
Yeah.
When you're cooking it, it's so much harder because you're
Yeah.
tasting, you know, you're not cooking it the cleanest it should be, you know.
Yep.
So I think it's actually easier to do that. Plus, you still have your one cheat. Like I know so many clients that have their kids home this weekend. They're going to do their one cheat with them.
Yep.
And then the rest of them, when they go out to eat, they're going to order on program.
Yeah.
And you know what? When your child goes back to school on Monday, because, you know, Columbus Day, or whatever it's called now. I don't know. Did they change the name of Columbus Day?
Indigenous Peoples Day.
Okay. Yes. So when they go back to school on Indigenous People Day, you know, you're going to feel so good about yourself that Tuesday.
Yeah. The bottom line is just don't use your own children as an example to cheat.
Exactly. Yes. Because you're going to feel just as bad when they go.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
actually, I had so many people come in today and they did so great. You know why? Because their kids have been away at school.
Probably,
Yeah.
because then all the junk's out of the house.
Yeah.
Right?
It's so much easier.
Yeah.
But even when they go to, I know a lot of the clients that have been going to Parents Weekend, they've been great because they do the best. I always say, do your best. But when you know you're not having an on-program meal, just eat less of it. And at least you'll maintain the weekend. Don't go crazy, you know.
Yeah.
You have to get out of that all or nothing mindset. When you
Absolutely.
do that, you're going to just ruin your whole week.
Yeah.
Went off, okay, I'm off, so I'm going to go off this whole weekend, or I'm going to start again on Monday, or you know what I mean. You put yourself in that position to sabotage yourself.
Absolutely.
And really, you should just be like, I had it. It's over. It's behind me. Move on.
Absolutely. Yep.
You should do that in anything in life.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the main thing is, you know, don't look for excuses, especially if it's something like, you know, the children coming home from school. You know, that's not like, oh, I have a reason to eat this week, like, or this weekend. That's like, enjoy your family time. Focus on things that matter. Your kids are coming home. That's important.
Right.
That's not, an excuse for you to say, oh, now I can go to that restaurant where I've been craving.
Exactly.
Kind of put things in a different perspective, so then you think about them differently as well, which then leads to you making different choices.
Yeah. And you can go to that restaurant, just do the right thing.
Yeah, exactly.
And, which I really want to say this is really important. I think that we have to switch our mindset. And this is what I've been working with a lot of people on. Switch your mindset to not make eating on program and doing the right thing a bad thing. Like, don't make it a chore. It's not supposed to be a chore.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be something that you love to do, and because it makes you feel good.
Yeah.
And when you don't do the right thing, it makes you feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
And feel bad meaning you feel bloated, you feel horrible, you feel like your clothes don't fit you.
Yep.
When you do the right thing, you can get dressed and feel good about yourself, and you feel good in your body, and you feel light. Switch the mindset to make it that you're doing this for the reasons because you want to, not because you have to.
Yeah.
Because you really don't have to.
That's
Nobody's forcing you to do anything,
That's one of the biggest things is, like, people, the one thing I can't stand is, like, the all or nothing mentality. It's like, it's really not that deep. Like, it is not that deep in the sense of, like, people are like, oh, like, I, slipped up here, so I'm just going to quit. Because if I'm not all in, then I'm not all in. And it's almost like a ejector seat, because it's like, I want to save myself, so I'm going to eject
I
from
feel
this.
like that's just an excuse.
I agree.
Because I think a lot of people just want to do the wrong thing, and they give themselves the reason.
And people also go to the opposite extreme too, because if you're in that all or nothing mentality, that doesn't, like, all or nothing sounds extreme, but it doesn't mean you have to work out every day of the week. It doesn't mean you have to,
eat 100% on program.
100% on program.
7 days a week,
eat everything that you hate and not eat anything that you don't like either. Like, you can find ways to compromise within there and still be on program.
Yeah.
Like, you can walk 2 days out of the week. That's not all or nothing.
No. This is the reason, this is why people have this, because they want the weight off in a week.
Yeah.
They want their 40 pounds off in a week. Because they don't want to keep doing this, but they don't realize, and this is what I mean when I've been really working with people to change the mindset, is you have to look at this as a way of life, not something you're doing just to get to your number. Because then if you go back to your old ways, you're going to gain all the weight back.
Yep.
And that's why it has to be more than just, a diet. It has to be a way of life.
Yep.
And when you do that, that's when you'll really see the changes more mentally than anything. And it's okay to lose a pound or two a week. It's okay for it to take longer, because usually when it's doing that, that means you're having a little extra here that you needed that day.
Yeah.
Or, maybe you had a little cheat that you weren't expecting, but, people invited you out and that was it. But you went right back on program. See, everyone that you see that does so great, they're not amazing all the time. You just don't see it. It's what I say to you all the time.
Yeah.
Don't bring negative attention to anything.
Yep.
It's the same thing. They're just, they've learned to get right back on. They don't make a moment into a week. They don't make it into a day even. They just get right back on.
Exactly. And that, to me, honestly, again, like, key factor. Because the number one thing, too, is whenever most people start thinking about taking that leap to actually change something, it's always like the number one deterrent from them actually continuing is thinking about, like, oh, I'm just going to put all the energy into starting today. And then once the next day comes, it's like you're deflated again.
Right.
And it's amazing, because I don't think people truly understand what can happen in 7 days, let alone 7 weeks, 7 days that you're on program. Plus the cheat, like, including the cheat day, but, like, let alone 7 weeks. Like, you'd be shocked at what can happen in 7 weeks if you actually, like, make the decision like for yourself and, put the effort forth and say, like, I'm not going to come off program. I'm going to stay on for 7 weeks and just dedicate it to 7 weeks. You might get to a point where you can actually, go off the rails for the holidays and then end up back at your starting number.
Yeah,
100%.
To
the point where, like, the number one thing is people always waste the most amount of time deciding on when to start. Because once you actually decide on when to start, you tell yourself, like, I probably should have started like 3 days ago.
Right.
But I've just been pushing it off. You know, that's like my number one pet peeve.
Well, everyone wants to have like a perfect path. Like,
Yeah.
okay, I have nothing on my path, so I can do it now. Or they'll be like, I really shouldn't do it because I have something this week. But you're always going to have something.
You're always going to have something.
You know, and I think, listen.
And also, too, life doesn't coincide with your weight loss plan. Life happens by itself, and it's gonna.
That's why your weight loss
life's
should be
not
a way
take
of
a
life,
break because you're trying to lose weight.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
So.
And you shouldn't want to stop doing things. You
want
have to
yeah.
learn how to navigate all of this. You know, I think that's so important. But I think the most important thing is I think people have to realize what they want, and realize that you're the only one who, no matter what it is, you know, and this goes for everything, whether it's weight loss, whether it's your career, whether it's your mindset, your health, anything, you have to have a plan and just stick to it. You're the only one who can get in your own way. You can let the party get in your way. You can let your friends get in your way. You can let your nights out get in your way. But it always comes down to you.
Yep, absolutely. And the last thing I'll say about it is, you know, you don't grow by waiting for ideal conditions. You know, if you're one of those people that are waiting for, you know, quote unquote, the perfect time to start, sorry, but it's not coming.
No, it's not.
It's
exactly.
not coming because it's
you have
always,
to make it.
You have to say to yourself, now is the perfect time for me to start. There's no date on the calendar that's going to say like, oh, that's my, like, oh, like, what's that circled date on your calendar? Oh, that's the day I start my weight loss. Like, why?
Yeah.
You know?
Why not today?
Why not today? Yeah.
It's true. You know, I will tell you this. I just thought of it while you were talking about that. It's the same thing when, you know, when I first started this, God, 20 years ago, and with the cheat day and stuff, people used to be like, don't you gain it all back? And I'd be like, no, if anything, it's so good for you because you're learning how to incorporate this stuff into your, because the people that go on like chicken and broccoli and fish and broccoli, and that's all they eat, 7 days a week, as soon as something that comes into their, you know, life that they haven't had, they can't control it. But that's what the cheat day does. That's what the cheat meal does. It lets you incorporate it in so you learn how to navigate it in, you know, it really teaches you to go off and then go right back on. That's the whole idea of it. But it's the same thing we're talking about when you just said that. Like, you have to learn. These things are going to always be in your life. You're always going to have celebrations. You're always going to have parties. You're going to have nights out. You have to learn how to incorporate them in order to, you know, continue to do the right thing and stay on your program, whatever it is. And with 7 weeks ahead of you, like, you have the opportunity to say, like, okay, I want to be 7 pounds lighter. I want to be running 3 miles a day. I want to be, you know, doing 50 sit-ups a night, whatever it is. You know, I want to even just look, if we weren't talking weight loss, say we were talking just something else healthy, have a schedule. Like, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to do this, this, and that every day for the next, you know, 7 weeks. Because I want to create a schedule for myself that I stay to.
Absolutely.
You know, it could be anything.
Yeah. And one thing that is so easy to say, but of course so hard to do, and most of the time people never really do it, is, you know, always think like your future self is going to thank you when all of your friends are crashing out and you're actually in control.
Right.
And again, your friends might blame you because, you know, your friends are going to be like, well, you invited me out to dinner and, you know, you ruined my path. Like, no. Like, take accountability, just make the decision, and just think about how good it'll feel. Even though it's really hard to say that, you know, and then, like, think like, oh, like, you know, it's so easy to say, like, 7 weeks from now. Just think about how good it's going to feel when, you know, everyone around you is like, oh, I need to get a grip on things, and you already know that you got the grip.
Yes, exactly.
You know?
It's so true. 7 weeks goes fast.
Yeah, I know.
That's
how
the
long
thing.
is summer?
Summer is, let's see, you got June, July, if you count June, even though
like
kids
10
most
weeks,
get June,
weeks.
July, August, 12 weeks?
12 weeks, yeah. I Think about how fast summer went.
So fast.
7 weeks is less.
I'm
so,
telling you, we're gonna be talking about Christmas trees soon. It goes
And
amazing.
menorahs.
And menorahs.
Yeah.
And all the other holidays.
Yeah, and
There's so many.
the guy on the shelf, right?
Elf.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
I don't think that's a holiday, but.
I mean, yeah. I don't think Christmas tree is a holiday either, but you said that, so. All right.
Okay.
Whatever.
True. Okay. Well, I think that's all we have for today.
All right. And if you guys have any topics or any questions that you want us to talk about on any episodes, you can always DM us on our Instagram. But otherwise, please stop in at Innovation at 8025 Jericho Turnpike, Woodbury, New York, or visit our website, innovationhealthymarket.com, or you can call the store, 516-802-5055. We're open 7 days a week. We're always there to help you with your shopping, orders, weight loss needs. When you come in, ask for me, Jake. I'll be happy to show you around the store. Or if you're looking for a one-on-one plan, I can make your first free consultation appointment with Josephine.
Everyone have an amazing week. Stay consistent. Stay kind to yourself. And always do what's right for you. Have a great one, everyone.